If you've talked to girls at all, this has probably happened to you. Girl seems to like you, and then all of a sudden you do one thing or say one thing, and then the attraction just flickers out of her eyes. Or maybe you just kind of lose track of where you're going and get a little lost in the direction of the interaction, and it just kind of slowly, gradually peters out, and you're like trying to get it back and you can't. This is very, very common for anybody who's talked to girls. And it may even be that you're saying something that you've seen someone else say successfully in the past, or even you're saying something you've said successfully in the past. What's the problem? Well, a lot of times it comes down to timing, right? Just because a line is good in one context doesn't make it good in another context. Also, within an interaction, there's sort of a process, an emotional journey that the girl needs to go on in order to become attracted to you. So if you try and shortcut that journey, or you miss steps or go backwards in that journey, it's not gonna work very well for you, all right? This is a very, very common sticking point that students I work with have. And so what I've done is I actually took a student who had this sticking point, we filmed him in field, brought him into the studio, and I broke down this exact mistake and showed what he should be saying when. You know, here's what's missing, here's where he's going backwards, that kind of stuff. And like I said, this is one of the most common mistakes I see in students. It's also one of kind of the funniest ones in a way. So I've broken this guy down. It's about a 20-minute breakdown of this guy in field. This is actually a clip from a much longer breakdown that I've put in my program, the system. So if you have the system, you haven't checked it out, go over there and check it out, watch the whole thing. If not, watch it here. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna learn a ton from it.
Hey, excuse me. I just saw you walk by. I thought you looked really nice. I just had to say hey. You look like you just went for a bike ride with your sister.
Yeah, with my sister.
Your BFF. How was it? The bike ride.
It was amazing.
That's cool. Anyway, I gotta go this way, but what's your name? Are you like Indian or Trinidadian?
And what's the other girl's name? Like, just honestly, it doesn't take much. It really doesn't. But treat her like she is present, right? Treat her like she exists. Like up to that moment, I would have been like kind of eye roll, but tolerate you. But as soon as you say hi to her and then just blatantly don't introduce yourself to me, I'd be like, fuck this guy.
No, I'm from Bangladesh.
Very cool.
Where are you from?
But born here.
Cool.
Were you grew up in Jersey or New York?
No, I grew up here.
Okay.
I live in...
That's cool. I know you're taking it with your sister for now, but would you like to get a drink another time?
I have a boyfriend, I'm sorry.
Okay, so like super serious?
She's taking it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
You have a good one.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay, and so this is premature, right? It's a premature close. So one, she can't say yes in front of her friend because her friend doesn't like you. But beyond, or at least, I don't know, her friend shouldn't like you. If she does like you, she's an anomaly because she shouldn't like you. But also it's premature, right? You haven't built enough set. You had open premise and that's it, right? Do you know anything about her?
Yeah, nothing, just California.
Yeah, does she know anything about you? Have you had any kind of like joking or teasing or flirting? Not really, you complimented her a couple of times. All right, so there's just not enough set here yet. All right, typically if you look at like the stage of the system, open, you did, good job. Premise, you did a little bit. Man to woman, you could do more, but you did a little bit. Evaluation, none. There's been no decision or no even discussion of whether you guys would get along, what kind of things you would do get together, no agreement that you guys are even friends, right? That's all lacking in the set. So aside taking the friend out of this, like if the friend weren't here, the set you're having with just her could actually potentially go somewhere if it were continued a bit longer and had time to like blossom. But it's just too early.
It's like assumption stacking, making statements about her, telling about like, hey, myself, just like.
Yeah, all those kind of things. Those are all techniques. What you're really going for is to get her to participate in the conversation, and you want to set up the frame that, well, a couple of good frames. One frame is that she agrees that you're an attractive person. Any kind of agreement on that is a really positive thing, right? And a good way to start with getting agreement on it is just to put it out there. So if you just imply that you're an attractive person, she can agree to it or disagree, but at least it's in the conversation. So that's one good frame. Another good frame is the frame that you guys like enjoy each other's company or have something in common, or there's some fun thing that you guys could do together. Any of those kind of frames, when those exist, it makes sense to get a number. When there's this like idea, oh, we're both attractive people, let's get a number. Oh, we have this thing in common, it'd be so much fun to hang out, let's get numbers, right? I'm not so sure about you, but you're winning me over. Okay, actually, you know what? I am impressed now. Let's get numbers, right? So you need some kind of a storyline, some kind of like a reason other than, hey, you're hot and I want to fuck you, to get numbers, right? Because this basically is like you really know nothing about her. Like, why are you trying to get a number from a stranger? Does that make sense? And from her perspective, why would she want to? She doesn't even know you. She maybe knows your name if she remembers it. Right? That's it though. So it's not that it's bad, it's just premature. It's like the metaphor I give a lot of times is like if you had an apple orchard and you get those little flowers that come like before the apple, like the little budding blossoms, and you like picked that off the tree and ate it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with it. It's gonna mature to an apple if you let it, but like you can't just pick it when it's like premature. You have to like let it grow and blossom.
And like you said, I should talk to the sister because like I felt like, oh, there's pressure. The sister probably doesn't like, because I saw her face. She was like, I don't know if you hear, but she's like screaming at me, like she's taken. She's like, so I was like, all right, just like,
yeah.
But I should have assumed like, okay, the sister can like me too if I'm nice to her.
Exactly. Group sets are actually in some ways better than individual sets. They're worse because of isolation and pulling are harder for sure. But in terms of the amount of attraction you can get more attraction in a group set than you can in a one-on-one set. Because if the girl's friends like you, or if you're able to convey your personality through the friends without having to be as obvious with the girl and she chases you more, those dynamics can set up way more attraction than just you going and like talking to a girl one-on-one. Right? So I don't love it when it's a group only because like I like to pull and it's hard to pull a two set, for example, especially in the daytime. But in terms of getting attraction, I love group sets, right? Oh, how do you guys know each other? Oh wait, you trust this girl? Oh my goodness, right? Or you and I won't get along. You seem nice. You seem fun. You're gonna be our chaperone, all right? When we hang out, I'm bringing you along to like be the fun one and keep me safe, all right? You're gonna like, I'm gonna love you or hate you. But yeah, as soon as it gets dangerous, like you're gonna get in between us like a referee. Okay, can you do that? Thank you. All right, all kinds. You can keep her involved, that kind of stuff. Wait, how do you know each other? Wait. You've known this girl for 7 years, and you're still alive, right? And it's like there's all kinds of ways you can tease, all kinds of ways you can make fun of her, or say if you want to tell like. If you want to be like aloof and dismissive and get value that way, let's say for example, like they both say something to you at the same time. You'd be like, hang on one second, to like the hot, hang on one second. What was that you said? Okay, cool. Now what was that thing what was this nonsense you were throwing at me? Right? You can do all these different things to get her attention, like get her chasing, make her wonder if she can have you. If the friend likes you, that's so much social proof. There's so many good things about group sets, but you have to actually engage the friends. Because a group set where you don't engage a friend, you're going to get this every single time, which is resistance, resistance, resistance. So I'd say, from what I've seen so far in the 3 sets, you're doing what is very typical, kind of like intermediate E game. You're doing kind of what I did in my game, as far as the cold approach, when I was about a year or 2 into my game. Like, which is that you're doing approaches, right? Which is good. I assume you do. You may have approach anxiety, but I assume you actually do approaches. You are getting into conversations. You are not afraid of being man to woman, right? But you're very obvious. The girl knows that she can have you. She knows that she's being hit on. And so it's kind of a situation of like, oh, here's this guy hitting on me. He seems attractive. It seems fun. All right, fine, I'll give in and just go with it because it's fun. But there's never a situation where she's like, oh, I don't even know if I can have this guy. Or wow, this guy's out of my league. Or just different things like that. Being willing to have an occasional push away. Being willing to not completely be positive, nice, actually makes you able to be more nice as well. Okay, think of it this way. If you had a teacher in school who gives everybody an A, and you get an A in his class, how do you feel about that A? Whatever, I got the A I was supposed to get, right? If you have a teacher that's known for being really brilliant, but also really, really tough, and he gives like, C's and D's and even fails people in his class and stuff like that, and then you work really hard and you get like a B+ in his class, how do you feel about that B+?
Yeah, it feels greater than the A.
Exactly. So that's the idea, is if you're the guy who she knows that you're not kissing her ass, she knows that if you give her a compliment, it's not because you had to, it's because you chose to, then it's going to actually mean something. And so in a way, you can give a girl a more positive experience by occasionally giving her a hard time rather than just being positive all the way. Make sense? But the big thing for you, biggest lesson, like these are all lessons in game and lessons in one-on-one. The biggest lesson for you is like when the girl has friends, you have got to engage the friends. You have to.
Excuse me. I gotta say, I love the whole black on black. It's like we're matching.
Well, these is actually navy.
Okay, she needs to get teased for that. Like seriously, right? Love the black on black. No, this is navy. Like wow, I tried so hard. I spent like literally. I tried so hard. I'm like, how can I compliment this girl? I came up with it, and then you ruined it. I'm sorry. I can't even. That was your one compliment for like our relationship. Now you're just out of luck. I'm sorry, right? That'd be one tease, right? I'd be like, she's like, oh, so that's navy. Like, sorry, just curiosity, are you a lawyer? I have to ask, given that response. Right? Just tease her, give her some kind of shit about it. Why not?
Well, did you feel at that stage in your game, like 1 year and a half, like still like when you're inside, like your brain kind of like, still like your brain kind of just like explodes, or you're like trying to think fast. It's like,
slow down. You don't have to be so fast. One of the biggest mistakes I see you guys making in game is trying to be too fast. So here, say my name, get my attention really fast.
Hey Todd.
Oh, what's up? How you doing? That's what most guys are like in set. Now get my attention again.
Hey Todd.
Oh, hi. You see the difference? Mm-hmm. Right? So 1, it seems less needy. It seems a lot more relaxed. 2, it gives you a lot more time to think. So if a girl gives me a shit test, I'm not going to immediately respond like this right away. She gives me a shit test, I'm just going to like look at her and smile, and then I'm going to pass the shit test. And I have an extra third of a second or half a second to think, because I'm not trying to be so fast, because I'm relaxed and I'm calm and I don't care. Does that make sense? But I'm not trying to rush in with stuff all the time. And it's not like you have to have the right answer. You just have to realize, like, this is a teasable moment. Like, anytime a girl does something out of the ordinary or silly or like particularly like rigid or particularly like just being a particular type, that's something you can tease on, right? I love that we're both wearing, this is navy. Like, you're right, we have nothing in common. I thought you were this cute girl. It could have been love, but I take it back. You should go. It was nice meeting you. It's not you, it's me though, right? It's just like, why not? Right? Just have fun with it. Yeah. Play around.
Wait, no, this is black. Okay. Did you just get out of work?
A while ago.
Okay.
And there, you could even tease that you just got to work. Yeah. Oh, okay. That explains the extreme attention to detail. It's okay. Take a breath. In 5 minutes, you'll be like a normal person. It will be good, right? So many ways to tease her, right? And it's a little bit offensive maybe, but it's lighthearted. Like, you're just kidding around. You don't have to worry about. I feel like you're worried about being offensive a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're never getting an offended response, that's a problem. Okay? And you're not even getting offended responses from the friends who should be giving you offended responses. Yeah, you should be, not often. And I'm not saying go offend every girl. But if you approach 20 girls and none of them are even a tiny bit offended, you're doing something wrong. Does that make sense? That means you're playing nowhere near what you can get away with. Right? Now, if you're offending more than half the girls you talk to, you're doing something massively wrong. That should never be the case. Right? Or even like 25% should never be the case. But if less than like 5% are being offended in some way, if you never have to say, no, sorry, I'm just kidding. If you don't ever have to say that, you're doing something wrong in game.
I just saw you, I wanted to say hey. So, do you want to hang out sometime? Okay.
And you're closing off of too little.
Excuse me. Hi. I just want to say I saw you like standing next to me. I had to say you look very nice. I just wanted to say hi.
Hello, hi.
You have like a very Persian, Middle Eastern look about you.
Everyone always thinks that.
Where are you from?
Ecuador.
Okay. Like Guayaquil?
Guayaquil, yes.
So I have a friend of mine, she's from there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Where are you from? You're Persian?
Yeah, we're just born here, but family's from Iran.
Oh, very nice.
Well, yeah. I take it you look like a local, like the way you're dressed. You don't seem like a tourist.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Yes, well,
Okay.
well, nice meeting you. Yeah.
Would you like to get a drink sometime?
Yeah. And so again, you're sequencing, right? So it's the same things over and over. Sequencing, you're just open, tiny bit of premise, close. Right? There's no period of get to know you, no period of, again, what does she know about you? She knows that you have an Ecuadorian friend and she knows where your family's from. That's it. Right? That's it. She knows nothing about you. Who is she giving the number to? She doesn't even know. Right? Take a minute, get to know her, let things develop. Now, it's a little rough because since you aren't being polarizing and you're not doing anything that's like challenging them or strongly keeping them there, you're getting this stuff where they're kind of leaving, and then from there, now you're like, you want to close before they leave, right? One, do a better set beforehand so it doesn't happen. But if that does happen, if they are leaving and it's premature, try and, before they leave and before you go for the close, try and build in the parts of the game that are missing. So, this is not ideal, right? A tease would be good, but the most important thing that you want for a solid number is qualification. You want to be evaluating her in some way. So, if she's, I gotta go, like, yeah, I gotta go too, really fast before you go, I'm curious because you seem interesting. Are you, like, tell me one thing about you that like would surprise me so I can just like you for a non-superficial reason. Something like that. And if she goes, I don't know, I do this, but that is a fucking good answer. That is fucking good. Okay, you know what? It's superficial, I never do this, but you know, what's your number? How much more sense does that make than out of nowhere, let's hang out sometime? Right, because there you actually were like, let me find out about you and see if it would make sense for us to hang out. Oh, you know what? You gave a good answer. All right, fair enough. I'll consider you. Right? The framing's much better. The sequencing's much better. It makes sense why you're getting a number. See, it's not ideal. It would be better if you just had more time and she wasn't leaving. But in that situation where she is leaving, try and quickly fill in the things that are missing, which is maybe a little bit of teasing, which that is like teasing, evaluating, and then one little bit of commitment from her. Now you have a potentially decent number. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, to recap, mistakes. Repeating the opener. Saying I just came over here because that's XYZ. That's one. Second is opening multiple times. Third is just too nice. Too nice and not polarizing in your teasing. Not engaging the friends. And then trying to close without having the pieces of the set.
Oh, I actually have words. Thank you, though.
Okay. Is it like?
I appreciate that you approached me, though. And it's very flattering. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad to make your day. So.
Thank you.
You have a good one. Excuse me. I just saw you wearing like the wackiest shoes. I just had to come say hello.
Thank you. Hello.
You look like you're on a super serious phone call.
No, I'm just listening to something.
Okay, you're just like checking out Omega, like dinner at Omega, like breakfast at Tiffany's.
No, nothing like that. I'm actually waiting for my Uber.
Okay. You sound a bit Russian.
I'm Southern European. I'm from Montenegro.
Okay. It's like I'm from here originally.
Okay.
Family's from Iran,
Okay.
so that's why like I'm a lot darker and hairier than you.
A little, just a little.
What's your name?
To meet you.
Very good to meet you. How long have you been in New York?
A couple of years.
Okay, so this is still a little bit on the friendly side, but at least you are talking about yourself. You are sharing yourself a little bit, right? Which is good. You also, your opener was a lot more genuine, right? You actually noticed something unique about her, which actually genuinely was unique. She has unique shoes, right? And you're joking, like dinner at Omega, but she didn't even get the joke. But at least you're joking, like you're being playful, right? It was wasted on her because she didn't get the cultural reference. But the fact that you did that just shows that the tone of this set is that you're taking more risks. You're more willing to say something that might be perceived as like, oh, that was dumb, but it also might be perceived as like actually real conversation. So it's a little bit better. It still has the same sticking points, but it's definitely a better version. You're also slowed down a little bit. Like you're slowed down. There's like a little more like your eye contact's better. Your verbals are a little more intimate. The whole thing's just, it's still the same technical sticking points. It's all the same technical stuff wrong with it, but you are doing it smoother. You are doing it better. You're doing it with more confidence now than you were a few sets ago.
Okay.
And you?
My whole life.
Oh, okay. So you were born here.
Yeah. I hope though, as long as you stay here, please don't ever lose that accent.
No, I won't.
Anyway, I got before I go forever.
So this is just you rushing out of the set, right? This set's going great, right? You're in such a hurry. Why? Are you afraid you're gonna mess it up?
It was like, okay, like her, because I think like, okay, her car can come any second, and I want to like get up before the car comes just to run. Also like, yeah, I want to like.
So here's the solution. So wait, how long do we have on this car? Is it coming like in like 1 minute, or do we have a couple minutes to talk? Right? And then if it's a ways off, okay, cool, we have a bit to talk. Or if it's close, but hey, I'm gonna tell you something bold. Cancel it. Talk to me for 5 minutes, then you can get the Uber. If you want, I'll even Uber you where you want to go. Like we'll make sure, right? Or fucking, it's like a $5 fee. I'll cover your fucking fee for you. Sit here, talk to me. Let's get to know each other, right? If it comes to it. But instead of like being like, oh God, it's gonna end any minute. Let me end it. I said, hey, wait. So this Uber, like, how long do we have here? Right? Or like, here's what you do, okay? Text him you're going the wrong direction. Then 10 seconds later, like 20 seconds later, text him you're still going the wrong direction, and then cancel. And then just dispute when they charge you. It works every time. Like, I'm a bad person, I'm sorry. Like, I've never actually done that, but I'm not saying I wouldn't, right? What I'm saying is find a creative solution to get her to stay there and talk to you. Okay? Find some way. And also,
keep it going, like.
And also, don't assume just because Uber's coming. Sometimes Ubers take a long time. I've had like a 15-minute wait for an Uber before. That's unusual in New York. It's probably like probably with like 3 minutes or something like that is that she's waiting. But she doesn't seem like she's in a hurry. Yeah, she's waiting for her car, but she's not actively on her phone looking for it. So it's clearly not a huge rush and or it's not that close or something. Right? So find out how long you have and go from there, rather than just bailing on yourself. Because this set's going well, but again, it's premature. It's the apple blossom on the...
Even this is premature?
Yes. What does she know about you? What do you know about her? Most importantly, has she qualified herself to you?
In terms of like not her beauty, like something like, when you say has she qualified, like...
Has she made an effort, a behavioral effort to impress you, win you over, fall into your frame, agree with you, anything like that?
No.
Not ready to be closed.
That's the key, and that's the most important thing. Like
That's key for a solid number.
They need to invest.
It definitely helps. It helps a ton. That's what I'm looking for, but I'm not trying to close before there's that, if possible. I'm trying to make sure that's there. Now, obviously, like, if she was literally, you open her and she literally is like 1 foot in the Uber, then maybe you try and close before that because you have no choice. Or if her friend's physically dragging her away, maybe you try and close because you have no choice. But in a situation like this, where there clearly isn't like an imminent time constraint, like you probably have at least 30 seconds or a minute, I'm not trying to close without that. I'm trying to generate that, right? Yeah, I want the girl, A, to qualify to me, meaning put the effort in. B, I want the girl to have qualified to me. Because if she has qualified to me, now I have a reason to get her number or a reason to follow up other than just her appearance, which makes the story of the set in her head way better. When she's on the phone or on text and thinking about meeting up with me, and I was like, oh, we had this great interaction, or oh, he liked me because this, or oh, I really won him over. That's much better than, hey, guy was horny and hit on me and I said yes. Right? It's just a better story in her head. So yeah, this is still premature.
And qualification, just like having fun, like the most important thing, having fun, teasing, challenging, sharing yourself, and then getting her to see like, hey, all right.
So those are all good things. Qualification is something specific though. Qualification is fully finding out if you like her. So think of it this way. When you go, what's the last big purchase you made? Like TV, car, house, apartment. What's the last latest big financial commitment? What category?
That was like flights to Europe.
Flights to Europe. Okay, cool. This is a little different because you probably didn't talk to a salesperson for that. You probably booked it online, right? But did you check a few different sites, or did you check a few different times and see like what could work, right? So you didn't just take the first flight and be like, okay, I like this flight, I'll take it. You said, okay, I like this flight. Let me put a pin in it. Let me see what the other options are and compare them. Same thing with a girl. Even though this isn't a perfect example, it'd be better if there was a salesperson involved. But yeah, you see her. This is an option for you. This is a cute girl. If you were to go on a date with her and have sex with her, that would probably be fun for you. That said, there's in New York alone 4 million other ways you could spend your evening. Right? So I like you, but are you the girl I want to commit my whole evening to? Because in the next hour, I can go talk to 10 other girls, one of whom might be better for you and might be a better companion for the evening and the next 6 months and life. Does that make sense? So yes, you're impressed. At least, like she caught your attention. She's beautiful. She seems interesting. But that's not enough yet. You as a high value guy, as a guy who has girls in his life, as a guy who girls chase and want, you're not just going to go with any girl. You have options, right? You're a stock that's constantly on the rise. Why would you sell it? Does that make sense, kind of? Right? So when you qualify, when you spend the time to find out what you like about her, and to show that you found something you like about her other than her looks, it's way more congruent with the idea that you're a high-value guy and in demand and all these kind of things that she wants.
Would you like to hang out sometime? We can get a drink another day. Maybe when you're wearing more casual shoes.
Sounds good. I would like to.
Okay. Let's exchange numbers. So I live like just uptown,
Okay.
like Upper West Side.
Okay.
Where in the city are you about?
I'm on the Upper East Side.
Okay.
And so you're just enjoying this beautiful evening, or?
I was just going for a stroll.
So she likes you on attraction, right? Or on whatever level, and she's gonna get numbers. Now what she's gonna do is she's gonna try and make a connection with you to make it solid, which is good for you, right? But she's gonna try and find out more about you because she knows right now she knows nothing about you and you know nothing about her.
Well, I'll say she's been the most responsive out of all the girls for this specific day.
Yeah, it was a better set. I mean, you did many of the same things wrong, but you did the execution a lot better, right? For sure. And I think Maybe she was more like available or in the market or receptive as well on top of it, right? So with what you're doing, again, I think I said this on like the second or third set, what you're doing can work. If you, like, I would put money on you, right? If you did, I don't know what X is, but if you did X number of approaches, I would put money on you to get laid. Like there's a threshold, right? Like there's an over under for you, right? If you said the 3, I'd put money against you. If you said I'm gonna do 3 approaches and get laid, I'd be like, no, you're not. If you said I'm gonna do 100 approaches and get laid, I'd be like, yes, you are. So somewhere between 3 and 100 is your over under number. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, what you're doing is a viable mating strategy. If you do enough approaches, you will get results. Absolutely with this, because you're doing the fundamental absolute musts of your opening. You are establishing premise, you are closing. That's the most basic model, right? Open, premise, close is the most basic workable model. The better model, which is what I want you to aspire to, is open, premise, evaluate, close. Adding that one more step is going to make it way more solid and make your over-under number come way down.
I was almost going to get a coffee at Trump Tower, but I just felt, hey, you know, keep walking, and then I'm about to meet some friends for drinks. So how about you? You're going on like... I feel like it's destiny. We just met here.
Me too.
Okay, well,
Alright.
very nice meeting you.
Very nice meeting you too.
I'll send you a message and let's hang out soon.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
Not bad, not bad. And I give you a little bit of credit for that one just because there was an actual clear time constraint on that one. Like even though the car could come in 1 minute or 10 or 15 even, but probably a short amount. So it's somewhat excusable for you to be like, let me get the number and bail. And under that circumstance.
You're right, I could have found out, but yeah, like, yeah, in the moment I was like, oh, it's gonna come any moment.
Yeah, wait, oh, you're getting, your car's going to, wait, what, you said you go upper east side? You know what, I'm going the same direction. Do you mind if I just split with you for a little bit? Sure, there you go, right? Different things. Right, how far up? I'm going kind of roughly the same area. You mind, I'll just jump out when you get there and then I'll figure out my own last few blocks. No problem. Right, there's ways, is what I'm saying. Right. Now, again, this one's pretty excusable though. Like this one, like I'm waiting for my Uber. Okay, fine, I have a time constraint. I'll leave before the time constraint. That's like basic and fair and whatever. Like as an advanced guy, I'd still try and problem solve it. But in an intermediate level, like what you did is completely fine. In terms of the timing, I would just have tried to get that one extra piece, that evaluation piece in before closing. So I hope you enjoyed that. Actually, one of the reasons I decided to show that is I was really happy with the lessons that came out of it. I think there's some things in there that have never come out on my channel before, and even some things that have never really been discussed in terms of dating and pickup anywhere in the world before. So I thought that was a really good clip. By the way, if you want to check out the full clip, it's at systembytodd.com inside the program. Check it out below. And one of the things that doesn't get talked about a lot, I think, is the value of infield filming or recording and breakdown for learning game. It's something I include on all of my coaching programs, and because it just is such a good way to get really in-depth feedback, really to see every little thing that you're doing. And with that in mind, I do want to let you know I did just release a brand new infield coaching program. You can check it out at the URL below. I'm doing a worldwide bootcamp tour, so I may be coming to your city, I may be coming to your country. Check it out below.